Tusidanganywe.
We are live in 3, 2. So
right, we are live on YouTube. Shit.
Yes.
Oh.
Notification ikifika mseme. And we are live.
24-bit is live on YouTube.
Yes.
Logo yenye iko kwa thumbnail ni Lawyers Hub.
No, hiyo ni a video feed. Yeah.
Hebu angalia
yes.
Screenshot.
Ati?
Angalia ni kamera nchukue screenshot.
Tuangalie.
Haya, sawa.
Iko sawa?
Yeah, we're good.
Si mimi naangalia tu food ya Dickson hapa.
Cheki.
Haya, mimi nimeweka hii link kwa Twitter yangu, so we should start going. Nick, do the introductions, we get going.
Let me put on my Twitter as well.
Feed yangu ikienda off, poleni, nitarudi tu na kamera nyingine.
What's happening to your
Mimi naweka WhatsApp.
So we're ready to start?
Yes.
Dickson, are we good?
I am good.
Okay. Hey, so what's up, guys? Welcome back to yet another episode of our 24-bit podcast. My name is Nick Kanali.
I'm Dickson Otieno.
Chenze Emmanuel.
Yes, and we have a guest today. Yeah, for the first time.
Yeah, my name is Ken Bonyo.
Yes, interesting. And guys, I don't know if it's Bonyo should lead this discussion because, but basically we want to talk about phone cameras, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all of us have done product reviews. We've reviewed a number of these smartphones. So, I mean, and one of the key things you always see people ask about is, the Kenyan consumer, right? They never ask about, what is the RAM, what is the processor, everything. They're asking, how's the phone camera, right? Exactly.
That is by we interact with. Mine ask about the RAM.
Actually, most of my followers, especially, they always like, especially on Facebook, on Facebook, they was like, hey, I'm looking for a phone with a good camera. Which one would you recommend, right? So let's start. We're in 2020 from last year. Which were your best camera phones? Let's start there.
Which one?
This one. I am so ready.
Sorry. Which one is that?
Wow.
What phone is that?
10 Plus.
Oh, not 10.
This is the best camera phone I've ever used.
Ever.
Yes, ever. Maybe baadaye things will change, but for now, this is the best camera phone I've ever used.
You never use the Lumia 1020 and it
I only say it with you.
For me, I had a Note 9 until at the start of the year before I sold it. And it was a damn good camera. I wouldn't say it's the best I've ever used, but it was good. It was very, very good. And I make reference to the Note 9 because I think it is the last flagship class phone that I've owned personally. Wachana na hizi nyingi zenye uja hapa for review. That I've owned personally, and I'm a big fan of that Note series, mostly because it manages to combine. I'm not so demanding when it comes to cameras, unlike people like Ken here who want to do flips and all manner of things, somersaults with their cameras. Maybe I don't. I'm a very basic camera user, and they're not manages to marry that with all the other aspects of phones that make smartphone usage pretty much exciting. Since then, though, I've used mid-rangers. Some of them have been very good, like the Oppo Reno 3.
Yes.
I still have one somewhere around here, and I really, really like the results I get from it.
Yeah, I think for me, I've not even owned it, but I think, if there is a smartphone that I was really interested in last year was my Note 10, the Xiaomi Mi Note 10. Because of for me, I feel it's really crazy that, they were really offering that phone for such an affordable price. But if you really look at the hardware, it's crazy. Yeah, it's really flagship quality. And I think it's really a phone that I know I'll really reference a lot in this conversation today. Yeah, so I think that was my favorite phone last year. And it's actually still among my top 3 phones this year.
Wow.
You mentioned Xiaomi, and I just remembered. I've had 2 separate stints with the Redmi 7A, which is not even the latest in that series because there's the 8A. But the 7A is so good, you don't believe it's a 10K phone. I mean, yeah, it's a 10K for a 10K phone. You're getting real good value, and I think that's the one thing I like about Xiaomi. So at any level, they're bringing their at that segment their A game. So whatever amount you're paying is 10K, it's 15K. You're getting such good performance. Because last year I had the same thing to say about the Redmi Go. Remember that Android Go phone of theirs? Yeah. Should be over a year old by now. It was so good, and I think they replicate this everywhere.
Yeah.
And you saw their market share is really increasing in Africa. You saw the latest data from IDC.
Yes.
Really
I saw. Yeah.
Xiaomi entered last year and they had 6% market share compared to Oppo with 4%.
Yeah.
I bought the Redmi 8A and the camera was really, really, really good.
So you see, that's some very good value for your money. You don't have to spend $1,000 because at this point, if all you do is read the international tech press, especially coverage from Western tech journalists and bloggers and YouTubers and everyone who writes tech from that side of the world, you would be convinced that you need to spend over 100,000 shillings for you to get the best camera. But really, when you have 10K, you just need to know where to look.
Yeah.
The options are there, and they are really, you can have some really good results. And even better, if you're not as demanding as some of us are here, your results will be very, very good.
Like, you know, I've actually never, well, the last time I owned a camera was a while back, but you know, like all the latest videos I've done for my blog, all those unboxing videos, I've been shooting them using a phone. And those latest videos you see, I think the last 2 videos I've done, I shot them using the Reno 3, and the quality is really, really, really good.
Yeah, the Reno 3 has a really good camera. My problem with it is just it felt expensive for me. I don't know why. Wangeiweka maybe at 30K, 33, 35K, but 40K.
My only problem with it was, and it's mainly a perception problem, but also because it limits me in the number of customizations I want to make, but I can't make. The platform MediaTek. If I'm going to spend that much, by the way, the performance is good. Everything else, it's just that MediaTek's way of operating and Qualcomm's are 2 different worlds. And I'd have preferred, if I would say I'm giving out 40,000 shillings, to be on Qualcomm's platform, not MediaTek, not for the performance, but just the platform. Yeah, because Qualcomm does better support these days than MediaTek does. But as far as performance goes, it's good. So the image processing, everything just handled just fine.
Abuya.
His mic is off.
Let me unmute him.
Yeah. Oh.
Karibu.
I knew it. Yeah, I'm here now. Go on. But I was hearing everything.
So which one, I mean, we were just talking about our best camera phones from last year. Which one? Which is the best according to you?
I can't hear you guys.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go.
Yes, so I was saying, like, we were talking about our best camera phones from last year, from 2019.
From 2019.
Yes.
Hey, from 2019, I think can you give me like maybe a price range, because the current phone that I'm using right now is actually very good camera-wise. The S10, I haven't seen actually anything better than that all the way up to now.
And for budget
that works.
For the budget segment, I'll try to figure it out, but I don't think I used a lot of phones last year, so I'm not pretty sure about it. But if I could guess, I think I may say guess one of these Huawei's, or maybe some Oppo. I can't remember like the very specific name, but the low end, I think maybe the budget to mid range, I can't really remember because I never touched those phones for the better part of 2019. Nick?
Yes, but you know, I mean, Chenze was telling me how you do most of your you shoot most of your content just using a phone.
Oh yes, I know. I know. Of course, I think that, like the very first person I'd like okay, like I believe that uses his phones a lot to do his content. I think it should be you. And the second person should be me because like I usually take those product images like I using the style. I think like I've been using like the style to shoot for those product images for the better part of last year and this year as well. So I'm actually very satisfied with the camera. So for the moment right now, I think I haven't seen anything better, unless I think you guys, I believe like you have access to those phones a lot. I don't like way more than I do. So I'll try to listen from the conversation, I guess, from you. Then I'll catch up from there.
All right. So I have a very interesting poll here. I'll launch this poll. I think it will come straight on your screens, and I want you guys to participate.
Yes, go on.
Here we go.
Surely. Hii ni quiz up.
Hey, Ken.
Yeah, jamani.
Let me see.
It's an interesting poll.
You know I'm the admin. I'll just end polling.
I think I believe it.
Wow.
It should be the Kyocera if I'm
What's
not
the
sure.
first cell phone to carry a camera? Why would I know that?
How many?
What smartphone camera features are most important to you? Multiple lens cameras. By the way, we need to talk about these. Multiple lens cameras are a huge gimmick.
Will people see my answer?
Do I need like to pick one answer only?
Yeah, the last one.
The last part.
You can pick several things.
Okay, that's better.
Wataona majibu yangu kwanza kwa hiyo ya swali ya kwanza.
Actually, I got a mini guess.
We are here watching you embarrass yourself. Go ahead.
Hey, these questions are difficult.
How many? The first cell phone camera.
People.
What do I believe?
Watu wanaaminia Nokia huku.
You know, I guess I think like maybe like they'll like I think I've picked Nokia because I remember Nokia used to be very good in that department. I think like they released their first camera phone. If I should go by the last video I watched from Mr. Mobile, I think he had like I think like he was going through those retro Nokia phones. I think Alafu mentioned one Nokia from 2001, I think, or something. That was among the very first phones to come with a camera. So I figure should be one of them.
I'm not able to vote, but me, I'd go with the Kyocera. I'd go with the VP210. I could be wrong, but watch the wrong with my chest.
So Kyocera. Oh, Kyocera, like they make phones. I've never seen any Kyocera phone ever at all. So.
And then here is where I find it interesting. What smartphone camera features are most important to you? And everyone is saying OIS. Interesting. Nyinyi hampendi megapixel mob, so you're not the target of all this advertising.
Those are for lifestyle.
Yeah, what do IG?
Yeah.
Kuna mchezo sana.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see the polls.
Hakuna mtu anapenda HDR.
So tuanze na question ya kwanza. Someone say, what is the first cell phone? Kila mtu amesema Nokia.
You know, Nokia is a big brand, eh?
Actually, you know, it's the first cell phone to ever carry a camera ilikuwa hiyo Kyocera.
Holy cow.
Interesting.
99. 99 May.
99, that's a long time ago.
And then
hawa ndio watu wa kununua jina hapa. Tumewai discuss kwa hii podcast. Brand perception.
I've never heard of that. Which year was that, kwanza?
What?
Kyocera, they're big. Wewe unatumianga printer gani? Okay, if you work with these guys in big organizations, yeah. Those network printers are like some of the best in the business, Kyocera.
Alafu, I think I've suddenly remembered that they make those super durable phones. I think like those that have those.
Yes.
Yeah,
Hizo
I
za
think,
kwenda
those
field.
big phones. Yeah,
Yes.
those are kwenda kwa field, exactly. They make those kind of phones.
If you're
The
getting a
second
laptop, it
question.
will be a Panasonic. If you're getting a phone, it will be a Kyocera.
Yes, exactly. I'm a cat. So the second question, Bonyo, go ahead.
How many megapixels did the first cell phone have?
That I knew.
I guess.
0.
Aha.
Correct.
0.11 MP. 0.11. That's okay. I failed miserably. Go ahead.
In fact, it was the world's first digital camera, actually.
These choices will make wrong. I mean, who will pick 16 MP? I mean,
or even 8 actually.
Yeah, because you remember like the front-facing cameras when Huawei brought it was S&P what? P6 or something. Wakaeka 5 megapixel camera on the front. It was such a big thing because we were used to 2 megapixel cameras. I remember buying a Note 3 with all its glory and everything had a 2 megapixel front-facing camera. Like, what the hell?
Hey, good days. Go ahead. The last question.
I think the last question is like the most interesting one because I think this will basically guide our discussion today.
Yeah, a lot of guys from my end, I see that you guys picked OIS, high resolution, video. Yes, those two.
So I think what
I'm curious kusikia kutoka kwa watu wa high res videos. These videos zenyewe upeleka wapi? Other than the few times where you're doing like whatever product shots, blah blah. Like for the longest time, I realized and I even stopped doing this, but I still see people do this. At least Quiz Kuna live, so you can utilize some of these things if your audio is good. But Pale Kitambo, I'd go to some of these events and see everyone recording, and I also do record. But then I realized na recording and what do I do with these things? So I stopped doing it. But it's still a huge phenomenon. Other than when you're going live, what else do you do with the videos really?
Personally, I use the Note 10 to shoot some of the videos I post on YouTube. So, for example, I can be using the camera to speak. Alafu some of the shots of the product I used from the Note 10. So if it weren't high res, haingekaa vizuri.
Okay.
I think Emmanuel. I think probably what we can do is we can start from Emmanuel, then as in tukienda to the next person aseme the most important features in a smartphone camera. Ivo. And why probably.
Yes, go ahead.
Emmanuel.
Maybe I just need a camera that works really. I'm not so demanding when it comes to cameras. No, but the top result is OIS. When I speak, my answers are heavily biased because I've used these smartphones for quite some time. And for a while, OIS used to be a feature that was restricted to a certain class of phones, OIS, EIS. So we just we learned to live with our troubles. I wouldn't list OIS as a big feature. It's always welcome, and all that. But me, I just need just a good camera, basically. I have a Xiaomi Mi A2, and when I have no fallback phone, like when all my phones disappeared and it's the only phone that was left with, I was pretty much fine. I mean, that's how less demanding I am. That's why I usually just don't get this bit. And maybe can people just stop doing this? Kama mnaona hii, you see, these so many cameras here at the back. If you're going to put these, make sure they work. I just don't want a nice pattern.
Just say Techno, because Techno have extra lenses that are doing nothing on the phone.
Yeah, because it's become fashionable to have this entire palette of cameras and throw in your LEDs there for the flash to look all nice and pretty. Like I was looking at photos of the Nokia 5.3 that was launched the other day, and it's interesting why I'm bringing up Nokia, because hapo kwa poll question number 1, everyone voted Nokia because from the time we were growing up, Nokia is the one thing that everyone knew had those nice cameras, blah blah blah. So we associate Nokias a lot with cameras when you're not associating them with battery life. But we forget one thing, that's the old Nokia. The new Nokia is not known for any of those things. The battery life crap. The cameras, not good. I mean, they'll put as many and do a lot of marketing around them. And I've used all that they've hyped so far. There's nothing outstanding about them. At any given time, any Samsung I have is better than anything I have from Nokia /HMD. So like that Nokia, they need to step up, like real stepping up. It needs to match that Nokia of old. And I'm not talking from the point of view of where we always have a way of making the past look so rosy. No, like pick up a random Nokia camera. Really, it's not what you expect from that brand. They need to properly step up. Like the brand that impresses me the most when it comes to mid-range, which is where a lot of Nokias play, is Huawei. To be honest, if you would swap those logos and put Nokias on the mid-range Huawei's, I'd be very happy with that.
Maybe that's why Nokia, they're really trying to push their budget phones. You've seen how they're really trying to push these budget phones, the C2, the C1.
How do you call those budget phones? Nokia's phones are overpriced.
You always said that.
I don't feel that C series, to be honest, and I wish Xiaomi could release a successor to the Redmi Go from last year. It would obliterate those C series phones. I think they'd have been better just keeping those series where they've kept the Express Music as feature phones. Because if they're going to be smart, they should justify the price. I mean, see, come on, as you've seen the spec sheet for those phones. Nick, you have one. If there was a successor to the Redmi Go, trust me, I wouldn't look at those C series twice. And then here is the legacy they've built. You see you saw the Nokia one.
Yeah.
The Nokia one is a pretty garbage phone. I mean, for the money they were asking for when it launched, started at what, 9,500 shillings?
Yes.
And what can you get from Xiaomi with 9,500 shillings? And how does it compare? Now look at it.
8A that has 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of internal storage, 5,000 battery, and USB-C.
Exactly. Look at it from that perspective. Then the successor came. It was a good upgrade from the old Nokia, not a good upgrade for phones in its class that we are trying out. In fact, for that, I'd have gone and picked some watch series from Infinix for that. The only thing that the Nokia brand has going for it has little to do with cameras. It's the updates they promise. Those updates mostly appeal to people like who are on this podcast.
Yeah.
Out there, unaonanga watu waki-marvel at the phones I'm using, and the first thing they want to do is just see how the camera looks like.
Yes.
I mean, now, if that's what they are going to judge it and not what version of Android is running, you are losing before you even started.
Back to the features. Kila mtu alikuwa anapenda about their phone. They must have smartphone camera features. Chenze alimaliza, tuende kwa Kanali ama?
Mimi nimemaliza, mimi nimesema sina demands. I just want a camera that works.
Mine was actually image stabilization. Not that I have shaky hands, eh? But the thing is, I mean, it's because I think Jini penye naishi, because especially the place where I shoot my videos from, image stabilization is always very important, especially in situation where you have very light kidogo, right?
Yeah.
So of course that's why it really matters to me, because the place I shoot my videos from, like a small space, even when I open my window, that reflection haikuangi mzuri sana. So I need that really. That's why I think that's really important for me as of now. Yeah. Maybe that will change in future.
Ni mimi sasa ama?
Yes, it's you.
So me, I chose optical image stabilization, high resolution video, high frame rate, na autofocus. Ilikuwa unaweza choose vitu kadhaa. Ken said we can choose a couple of stuff.
Actually,
yeah.
Sindio, ama?
You actually choose.
Kuja polepole. Yeah, fine.
So I chose OIS because, of course, when you're outside and hauwezi tembea na gimbal every time, you have to have something that's stable, because you can't be working with a gimbal every time. High resolution video, I already explained, because of product shots na vitu kaa hizo. You don't want to make a video alafu haikai poa. High frame rate is very good, especially if you're doing slow-mo. Okay, so if you want to do like a very nice slow-mo video, carrying a camera always is not very easy. If the phone can do that, it will be very good. And autofocus is just important, because without autofocus, honestly, how will you shoot a video? Or how will you make a photo? Because you'll have to manually focus.
Okay.
So more megapixels don't really matter to you?
No, as long as the resolution is high already, more megapixel doesn't matter.
Yeah.
For example, look at the 64 megapixel from Camon 15 Premier.
Don't mention it. Because I know what you're going to say. So anyway,
One, they say it's 64 megapixels. All nini zenye umeinstall recognize it as 16. Whereas all Huawei phones that claim to be 48 are recognized as 48. So there's a problem there. Alafu, the video quality from the 64 megapixel is not as good as the video quality from a 12 megapixel camera. So more megapixel doesn't matter.
Abuya.
Oh yes, I think I don't remember what I selected from the from the poll. So I think why should go? Give like the very first one should be OIS.
Need
For
more
obvious reasons,
RAM.
I think everybody has mentioned OIS. I think I love OIS for obvious reasons. The second I think is multiple lenses. I don't know why like I don't understand like why okay, like all the members of the group are trying to hate on those multiple lenses. I like shooting those wide angle lenses. I like to capture those deep focus or whatever images. So I guess that's why I'll want to see more lenses at the back of the phones. And it's actually like a very good thing considering almost like all manufacturers are trying to put as many lenses as they can in their devices. So as long as like I'm seeing multiple lenses like in a phone and the phone has OIS, which is sometimes very hard to find like in a very in fact like maybe for a phone under 40,000, like it's very hard like it's very challenging to find OIS anywhere over there. So provided like I have OIS, I have multiple lenses, I think I'm good to go. And the phone has to be more than 50K, then I think from there I'm very good.
Hey, 50K.
Yes, performance from the performance side. There's no need for me to have those nice cameras if the phone can't perform very well. So the camera, it's one part, but the phone has to be supported by very powerful processors as well. So my OIS has to be complemented by good performance, and I need those lenses, those multiple, at least 3. Then I'm good to go.
So what are the most important lenses?
Lenses, depth sensor, wide angle, then the normal one.
Sensor. The way there's so many 2 megapixel depth sensors.
No, leave. You need to leave those ones from your normal. I can't mention the lens. Okay, I guess you are free to mention the lens. Leave those 2 megapixels from the likes of Infinix and whatever. Not those phones. Those ones are not actually very good. I think everybody here knows that. Any depth sensor, I think from the likes of Reno 3 and above, they do like a very good job. Yeah. I've seen other depth sensor in the A71 does a very good job.
I would rather a camera doesn't have a depth sensor, but good software to take those focus photos. I believe it's software.
Mostly, I believe like what I've actually come to know is that I think like the majority of the phones that I've used for the better part of the year have very good software, actually very fast software. The Reno has very good camera software, snaps pictures very fast. Samsung as well as that good camera software. Maybe I think a company that maybe needs to do more is Huawei. I've never really I've never really understood that interface per se, especially when I was using. I think the time I had a P20 Pro around. Like it's very complicated for me to find a setting or something like that. But for Samsung, it's actually pretty straightforward. You swipe left to get maybe something like a mod that you want, and then you're good to go. Yeah. Another thing I think I need to mention is you really haven't mentioned those high resolution cameras, that is G24, matters G32, whatever. I never really care about those things. Even if actually you can even ask me right now, what's something like the megapixel count on the S10. I can't remember. I can't tell you because I don't think like they matter to me anymore.
All right. So I'll try to go through the list and probably just justify why I picked each of the choices. So I'll start with the multiple lens cameras. I think like Abuya, I agree. Like, I mean, I think if there's one thing I love about Android, is that, you know, like they were the first to try this out. So like, you know, like multiple lens cameras, for me, I think they're a really great innovation, because at the end of the day, they offer you want options, you know. At the end of the day, you want to have many options. So you see, I mean, being able to have a wide angle camera, being able to have a telephoto, being able to have a macro camera, if you love macros like Joel, for example, is, you know, is you get that versatility. It's like lenses. You know, when you have a camera and you have one lens, I mean, to some point you're limited. So when you are like, one day you'll be at a small room and you want to take some wide angle shots of people in that room. But since your camera does not have a wide angle lens, or you also don't have that wide angle lens adapter, you know, you'll actually miss out. So I think for me, multiple lens cameras are actually a really, really good thing. And I really like that. Number two, optical image stabilization. I mean, that's, to be honest, like if I'm going to buy a phone, that's a must.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you're going to buy a phone, I think if you want to get OIS, I'm pretty sure you can't get OIS in a, like, I think in a phone under less 50 Gs. I can't name any.
There's a time Infinix had a phone with OIS of 24K. What was it?
Which one was that?
3, should be 03.
04, 04 and 05.
04.
04. They even had laser autofocus and OIS at 24K, I remember.
But were they good? If you remember, I never touched those phones.
I mean, they were really good for the price.
I think,
okay.
You know, the way Dickson said, you know, like holding a phone and shooting using a phone, it's not like a camera, because you see, cameras, there's a way cameras are made. They're very ergonomic. So even when you hold a camera, I mean, it's easy for you to hold it stable. But you see a phone, you know, phone is so, you know, like when you don't have OIS, man, like, you know, you can easily shake and you ruin a good photo, you know. So like having OIS is, I feel it's like, it's one of the most important features in a smartphone camera. Also, you see, the thing about smartphone cameras is that they have small sensors. So what that means is that in terms of light, they let in less light. So you see, OIS actually helps in that, considering, you know, you can even shoot in a low light area, but OIS will help you actually shoot for a longer, what do you call it, for a longer period, using a slower shutter speed. And number three, HDR. HDR. I don't know. I don't think HDR is a necessity for me, but I know, I mean, if you are someone who has an iPhone, I mean, you have all these new cameras. The main reason why their photos look so good is because they use HDR much of the time. That's why you see someone, even their selfies, like what happens, what people don't know nowadays is that many of these cameras, including the iPhone and probably other latest cameras, is that
HDR,
yeah, your phone, what happens is, once the phone detects that you're shooting in the sun, it automatically enables HDR. Even if it's not in HDR mode. That's why unaona like hizo pictures za iPhones zinakaa color iko poa, hata juu aka. It's because automatically on HDR.
Yes, before you go, I don't like way ahead about HDR. Maybe I'm pretty sure maybe like there's someone who's watching. I've seen companies advertise a lot about HDR in their phones, blah blah blah. But so they never really. Yes, but they never really. I can hear you, Dickson. But they never really try to explain what's the details about that feature. Like, okay, of course, like I understand like what okay, like I understand from like maybe a theoretical point of view what HDR like actually does, but maybe like for the second party, maybe okay, like maybe like a third party buyer cannot really know like what does like what does that feature actually do in person. So I'll like to think that Bonyo has much information about HDR and what it does in phones mostly.
So I think what usually happens is that basically, you know, how HDR works is that, you know, you combine multiple photos of different exposures. For example, if you're shooting in the sun, of course, if you take one single photo in the sun, of course, either the highlights will be blown out, ama the shadows itakuwa dark, sindio? Of course, how HDR works is that, of course, it will take different photos. It will take a dark photo, a medium photo, and a bright photo. Then it combines them into 3. But now you see what's interesting about smartphones nowadays is that, like smartphones have really evolved to the point that, like I was actually reading, there's an article that I think one of the engineers, the one who left Google, I'm forgetting his name.
Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, I know him. He's like, I think, like he used to be like a professor. I can't remember his name. I know him. Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, one of those guys is the one who actually coined. He's the one who came up with term computational
photography. Yeah.
What happens is that nowadays smartphones, like when you take a photo, it does not take a photo. Then what happens is the moment you open your camera, it's continuous. It's already taking photos. So you see, when you press the shutter button, it just picks the photo from, it takes ISO, like let's say the last 3 photos from that buffer. So you see, that's how now HDR works nowadays. Because you see, when you take a photo, ISO the previous photos zilikuwa zishachukuliwa. So combine that with the modern processors that we have on our phone, like it automatically just when you take one, when you press that shutter, it has already gotten a HDR photo, instantly, as opposed to, let's say, kitambo lazima ilikuwa umongoja kidogo upige mara ya kwanza, mara ya pili, mara ya tatu, unaona?
Oh yes, I remember.
So I think for me, like most of the time when I'm shooting on my phone, I'm always shooting in the manual mode. So the reason why I always shoot in manual mode, because I know at the end of the day, I'll still put it in, let's say, Snapseed to go and edit. So I think in that case, HDR is not important to me. But I think for someone who just wants to snap a photo, even in the sunlight and like wanataka ikae poa, I think HDR, actually HDR plus. Now you see phones nowadays, you see HDR plus. It's really important and it's a must. I think so. High resolution video. For me, resolution video. No, it's not a must. I think for me, I'm fine with 1080. I'm fine with 1080. Like 4K, I don't think I would actually like shoot 4K and edit 4K, but I think for someone like Dickson said, I think for him, high resolution video is important. High frame rate, I think up to 60 frames, 1080. For me, still 1080, I'm fine with that. Because I've realized that, many people still consume 1080. So 1080 it's good resolution. I mean, I know very few people who consume 4K, like Chenze.
I never touch those things. So besides go ahead. Okay, like before I go ahead, about shooting in 4K, yeah. Those of you who usually do it, Dickson, I suspect he's shooting maybe like some 4K video somewhere. Like how do you manage to edit it, considering like machines like are not that powerful?
First of all, if you shoot 4K, alafu you edit, say on the phone itself, on the iPad, it edits very well. Immediately bring it to the computer, there's nothing you can do with it. So most of the shots, I use the camera. The point where you're looking at the camera, where I'm looking at the camera, I'm just using the camera. 1080 works well. Then the extra shots where you need very high res so that someone can read text on the box, shoot it in 4K. You shoot it in 4K, then you export it as 1080 to the laptop.
Computer. Yeah, that's
my
interesting.
laptop personally cannot edit 4K unless.
Unless you live in America.
No, you don't have to live in America unless it's a review laptop.
Yeah. Like me, like I shoot a lot of like client work and I always just shoot 1080. And even sometimes even that 1080, but don't know, like sometimes my laptop freezes. So I'm like, wait, like 4K is a no-go zone.
It's very
it's one of those features I say it's nice to have. Like if I'm going to spend like all these crazy money these people are asking for, like all these, if I'm going to spend over 50,000.
They are breaking.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear him. Okay, I think Abuya, it's your internet.
Hata yangu ilipotea Abuya. Hebu angalia router tena.
Yeah.
Hey, kwanza router yangu I guess iko safari kidogo.
I'm saying
better.
there are those features. If I'm paying a certain amount of money, I want them in that phone, even if I never use them. You need to justify why I'm paying you all that much. The ability to shoot 4K is one of those. Even though I'll always have my phone. I almost never shoot videos on my phone, but I always make sure whichever phone in my unbox, I go to the settings chokora and put it at 1080, so that time I'll need to use it, because that time you don't have time to go to settings. It doesn't start shooting large video files and overheating and all those things. Yeah, because 1080 is more than enough. I have a camera that can shoot 4K. I've never ever enabled that 4K bit. Just 1080 is more than enough. Not even from the editing perspective, just everything else. I find 1080 sufficient for me, at least for today. And since a lot of what I'm doing today, I will need to use it in a high quality production, say 5 years from now. I don't need to cover myself because of future proofing. You know, that's why people are shooting in 8K today, because in many years when you're doing production level quality, some of these things will look so bad.
One thing that I found that's a problem with 4K on most, even cameras or for like dedicated cameras, is the crop factor. So 1080 has it very wide angle, then you switch to 4K and it's on your face.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a vlogging phone, I feel like if you're a big vlogger on YouTube or wapi, I feel like a high resolution camera is very important for you, because you have to have very good quality of video. And that's why at the beginning I said the Note 10 was my favorite phone from last year, because it can do 4K from the front camera. And that's something not very many phones can do. So you have very high resolution from the front camera. So if you're a vlogger, Nini, and it is also a powerful phone enough to edit the video. So you don't have to export it to a laptop and you start a edit and you can just edit from the phone.
It's interesting to hear. So before we proceed, besides mentioning your favorite phones from 2019, which will be your ideal phone in 2020?
Budget or high end?
This is a trap. This is a trap.
Like a camera phone.
The ones that are launched are upcoming.
That's that has already launched. That is already in the market.
Hey.
It doesn't have to be available in Kenya. You can easily go to whatever Gearbest or those fancy websites from the US and bring them here.
Really, if you've never shopped there, Banggood exists. I know the name sounds weird, but yeah.
I don't know. For me, I think I guess my perfect should be the S20 and S20 Plus. If I get that, I think I'm good to go for the next 2 or 3 years. Like I'll even I'll even try to ask for much. That is already good for me. And not the Ultra. I don't like the Ultra because that gimmicky 108 megapixel lens, which I don't want at all near me.
But you had one of those phones.
S20, no, I've never touched that phone.
Okay.
Then I made review S20.
Not me.
I think in Kenya, nobody, maybe vloggers, those Instagram models.
Instagram honeys.
None of you was sent that phone?
No.
We don't exist.
The launch, I remember, just during the launch. But
yes, during the launch, I remember. As they come at all.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I don't like the whole situation. I think like it has way too much politics, and then COVID happened. So plus, I don't like. I think like the last time I saw an S-Line review in Kenya was when 2018 actually. The S-Line a review that was done by probably Saroni, I think.
No, but I think I don't think let's not blame COVID. I mean, we've done product reviews even during this COVID.
Oh yeah, we can't blame COVID because
COVID.
yes, because I reviewed the A71 the other day. No, not actually reviewed that. I compared with the Renault 3 the other day. So
yeah.
By the way, I wanted to ask the last after the call, where did you get the A71?
They sent it to me. It's still here. Very good phone. I like it.
Okay, my favorite phone from this year that I will never get to use or touch or even see is the Mate 40. The P40 Pro.
P40 Pro.
Yes.
You're pretty sure that you can live without those apps, Google apps. Are you sure you're trying to lie to us?
No, I'm not saying I can live without Google apps. I'm just saying it's my favorite phone. Like if I had money,
camera is buy it. Is that for the camera?
No, not just the camera, the design.
So I was actually, my question was just strictly about the camera. That's all I meant.
Strictly about the camera, I'll still go with the P40 Pro.
Okay.
Interesting. I believe the lenses on the P40 Pro are better than on the S20. They make sense. It's better to have 50 times that's sharper than 100 times that look like a potato.
Like I don't know, like I'd rather have a camera that is maybe slightly less superior to the P40 Pro, but I think I need to access my WhatsApp, I need my Telegram, I need my Hangouts, all those apps. I can't do that on the
But
P40
I have the Y8.
What do you do on Hangouts?
No, I have the Y8 and it works really well without Google Apps. Every other app I can install. I'll have to use
sure of it. I have the Y6. I have the Y6P over here. I hate that phone. I don't like it at all. I think I've been trying to review it since. I've been trying to review it since Josie. I have the review over here, but I think I'll have to be very nice. I'll push it tomorrow. If you guys maybe like to read, I think you should try to maybe look at it tomorrow. But for I don't know. Okay, like it's a phone I can't recommend to my father, maybe my sister. I just can't tell them to buy it. Maybe some other part.
No, I agree. You can't recommend it to other people, but it's a good phone nonetheless for me.
So it's actually it's very good. It's built very well. It's thick. It has a very thick, like not the other thick. Like it has like a big battery inside, so it looks very good. I like it. Dickson, are you hungry?
Yes, we are supposed to finish this so that I can go eat real food.
Okay. No, we haven't finished. I think Kanali has to mention his, Chenze, and Bonyo. Then we can leave.
I don't know why is no one mentioning a Google Pixel. I mean,
I want to mention the Pixel by the way.
No.
The Pixel 4 has its issues.
Really? What? But you see, the problem with the Google Pixel is you're buying a camera, you're not buying a phone. And that's entirely the problem. Battery life, it lasts just as long as it takes for you to blink twice. I mean, so what's the point? To be honest, yeah, to be honest, I actually have no favorite, but I'd be inclined towards picking a P40 Pro.
Yes.
Right now there's a very good hack that works. You can get
yes, for those high-end there, you can get
the GMS working there real quick.
Yes, I remember
but
that.
Since we are talking cameras, and I'm pretty much used to carrying two phones around, I won't mind what I need to juggle between. Give me the P40 Pro. I'll figure the rest of my life out. Yeah, and I think I'll just be fine. To be honest, I'd pick that. Yes.
Why would you go
for? I wanted to say the iPhone, Pierre.
Yeah, actually.
No, iPhone, no.
I will totally buy the iPhone Pro Max if I could.
I guess.
The video quality from an iPhone, gosh. The video quality.
So there's the elephant in the room. The second generation SE then, right? Yes. Which also has a Pixel class battery.
No, I don't know. I think you're okay. Like, I don't like. I think like you're not supposed to say class anyway. Maybe I guess when you're talking about the battery between those SE and the Pixel, like I don't know.
Yeah, because class is supposed.
Yes, something
I don't know, something
superior.
iPhone users from the rest of the poor people.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
I think for me, I'll go with the P40 as well. Also, the iPhone 11. You know.
Yes, the iPhone 11 Pro. Ooh.
Yes. I mean,
he's always been a socialite. I mean.
I mean, based on the
I'm not
reviews,
surprised.
Yeah, based on the I guess
the
video.
reviews
I
I've
guess
read
I think.
online, yeah. Me, if it's a phone, I really, if I had that kind of money, I would just spend on it because of the
Honestly, I will get the iPhone 11 Pro. Hata waseme nini Nick, I will get. Hata wewe chukua tu iPhone 11 Pro.
But here comes the interesting bit. Ni Bonyo hajatuambia yake ni gani. Me and Abuya, I think we know what that is. But I want him to read the mood in the room. Imagine we are picking phones without Google over your phone. What does that tell you?
Last. We spare the best for last.
Yani,
yeah.
Nimesikia mkiongea juu ya Huawei nika
It's very funny.
Labda watu
it's very funny. Inakaa funny sana kwa sababu like your phone like ina gaps. Alafu other thing that phone on. Yes, we can hear you. That P40 shida yake tena pia ingine like it has like massively curved I think like the front panel yani like it's very curved yani jima hizo curves mingi and I've come to hate those curves kabisa like I don't want my screen to be curved at all so that's like another reason why I can never those are I think I'm actually very happy that everybody from those developed markets is starting to hate on curved. They are, like on those curved displays. They're not supposed to exist. They're actually very bad. So there goes the P40 Pro.
I was cut off. I didn't hear what Bonyo said.
Bonyo hasn't said anything.
So, like, honest, I'm not biased at all. I'm very objective.
Yeah, right.
I'll tell you, like, my best 4 phones right now, and I'll be biased.
Oh.
I'll tell you number one, it's obvious.
iPhone 11 Pro Max.
Nope, you're out.
To be honest,
Sony guy.
Anyway, to be honest, my phone by the and I'll give you my reasons is the EO Xiaomi Note 10 EO CC9.
Me.
Yeah, me Note 10.
CC9 I mean Note 10 Pro, something like that.
Yeah, or the CC9 Pro in Ethiopia, CC9 Pro, yeah. So that one number one.
CC9 is close to CCP.
I'll put as my number one phone. Number two, Xperia 1. Number 3,
Xperia bado in 2020.
Xperia 1 Mark 2 ama the Xperia 1 from last year.
1 Mark 2.
I'm sure the Xperia is number 1. He's just trying to turn it a bit.
Number 3, S20 Ultra.
Okay.
Number 4, of course, Huawei P40.
Yeah. P40
Unaikaje P40 chini ya Xperia jamani?
Acha ni explain kwanza. But if there is one thing I know about the Huawei P40, and that's why it's being ranked, nimeona Diexona kwa rank number 1, so it's because it has the biggest sensor that any smartphone has ever had in the world right now. And of course, if a camera has a bigger sensor, of course it lets more light, and of course the image will be better. But I feel like there are so many trade-offs. Including hizo shida za gaps na vitu zingine zile zinafanya yani it's not worth it. Like for me, I feel like it's not worth the camera, like.
I have a question before we endelee.
Yeah, continue.
Yes, upewe P40 Pro for camera peke yake na upewe simu nyingine yenye iko na Google Apps. So uko na simu mbili, hautasema uko na shida ya Google Apps.
I'll actually pick the Xiaomi because, man, let me tell you, I'm surprised about the Xiaomi because if you look at the specs, let me just share something here. If you look at the specs, I'm quite surprised that E4 in a cost this much, yet it has very crazy specs. I don't know if you can see this right now.
Yes.
I see.
What we have here is we have the Xperia 1 Mark 2, we have the Pro, and we have the My Note 10. So, it's interesting because, of course, the Xperia 1, the price is crazy. It's $1,200. Huawei P40 Pro 870 na Xiaomi Mi.
Yeah, but look at that price.
Three phones, and then now look at let's look at the hardware. Now you see when you look at the three cameras, the only thing that the Huawei has over these three cameras in terms of hardware,
the bigger lens.
Actually the bigger sensor. That's the most interesting thing. Of course, the Xperia is also good, as in when you compare them specs wise, actually the Xperia is the best in terms of specs, because of course it gives you, in terms of the lenses that come in, they have like the biggest apertures. Kama hii on Xperia, the main camera has a 1.7 lens. The Huawei comes with a 1.9. The Xiaomi comes with a 1.7. But you see, what's interesting about the Xiaomi is a price range.
Yeah.
Oh, it's affordable. A lot of people can buy it.
It's crazy. Consider, and then it has OIS, it has face detection, autofocus, it has laser autofocus. I mean, all these hardware features, and you get them at that price. So no, that's why for me, I think it's actually the best phone so far. And then considering it has, of course, you still have gaps, and then it's locally available. I mean, it's, for me right now, I think it would be the best phone that if someone wants to buy a phone right now, like in Kenya, and as in they need like the best camera. Oh, and then one more thing I forgot, that the EOS CC9, it has, the video is actually better than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. I forgot. Dickson, for it has actually.
I want you to come to Twitter after this discussion and post just not to shade. I'll retweet it so that I can throw it to the
live. Like if you look at the ukiangalia video test, both for GSM Arena and both for DxOMark, as in inaonyesha yani video yake iko better than hiyo 11 Pro. iPhone maze, to be honest, iPhone haiko kwa game ya camera siku hizi. Siko baya.
Acha nitanunua alafu to test.
Yeah.
That's why you lead.
I think what Bonyo is trying to say, really like how iPhone has very good cameras for the masses, the Xiaomi and the Sony, and they like has very good cameras for those. I don't know, just for the pro photographers. It's come here.
Yeah, there's actually that distinction we need to make. There are people like him, and then there are people like me who just want a good camera. I mean, you got a beauty mode level 100.
To say the truth, my thoughts on the iPhone and the Pixels is that they really excel at computational photography, but hardware wako nje, to be honest.
But I feel like Ken Bonyo, I feel like computation photography is the future, so hardware can take a stand, alafu AI take over. I feel like most of the good photos we see are from good computational photography rather than good hardware.
Chenze does not agree.
I'm not sure. I don't know, computational photography, I think Bonyo can answer this. Is there any other, I don't know, like camera manufacturers that is okay? I think maybe
I was reading an article like that said
the likes of Nikon.
So you see, the thing about computational photography is that kuna wase wali pioneer, like of course Google Pixel, they pioneered it, iPhone followed suit, but right now everyone is doing it.
Yeah.
Like the data
is everyone doing it? I'm not sure. You actually know it, like that. I don't know, that's only available for the iPhones and the Google Pixels.
Like HDR plus ilianza kwa Google. Na umejua
hata na Google ya.
HDR plus hata hiyo nini, I'm forgetting about the name of their night mode. Our engineers wale wenye wametoka. Yeah, they're the ones who came up with it. But you see, this data, they actually made it public. So you see, what happens is that hizi vitu Google Pixels zilikuwa nazo, sahi hata Xiaomi ziko nayo, sahi kila mtu ako nazo, you see. So I mean, it was something which was like, let's say the earlier Pixels were really good, to be honest. Mimi niliheshimu Pixels, but you see, I mean, right now everyone is doing that. Everyone has that technology, as in my software developers wao wame advanced, they can also do this. So like now you see, it's like the playing field is level actually right now. But now you see, the hardware is now what differentiates them. That's what I feel. That's what I feel actually.
Okay. Do you have your Xiaomi? Nani ako nayo? Natamani kuiona.
Yeah.
There's one thing I noticed kwa hiyo spec sheet alishare. I can give the Xiaomi a pass for this because of the price difference between it and say the Sony or the Huawei. But if you're yes, it's a good thing you're sharing this again. If you can people just go scroll chini yeah you go back to your base ya memory. I want to see the
scroll ni kama ni screen yangu. Wow.
Wait, and this one is locally available, isn't it?
Yeah, the phone should be locally available.
Now the at the memory, you see the Xiaomi has UFS 2.1 and these are phones 3.0. So if you're going to want to do all those nice things, I mean, this is something not many people look at, and I give the Xiaomi a pass because of the price. But if you're just going to pick one and budget sio shida, that will be a deal breaker for me.
Okay.
Wow.
Because that camera does not live in isolation; it writes somewhere. You need it writing. Yeah, you need it writing.
Unajua pale juu pia ni 109 pi.
Yeah.
There's
God
10 update for it. Kuna update ya Android 10 by the way.
Do you have to move heaven and earth to get it? Amani OTA.
I'm not sure. But I mean, you know, like to be honest, I think we were talking about computational photography. Umejua vile kitu ilianza, like hata tuseme kitu kama kukuwa na, like let's say bokeh, like if you want your background to be blurred, you know, when it started, umejua like hizo mapixels zilikuwa wase wa kwanza kudizi vitu, and other smartphones didn't have them, but right now you see, as in easy vitu azikaangi before everyone like adapts them. Right now everyone is doing it. All the other smartphones, like, you know, they have this knowledge. So umejua like sielewi kwa nini, I don't understand why people still like continue insisting that iPhones have the best camera, Pixels have the, like to
you don't want to get into that right now.
What we should do, Ken, I think what we should do is we should try to get both the iPhone na hii Xiaomi, alafu tujaribu tu video, because I've seen very many people praise the iPhone 11 Pro Max's video quality. I've seen even big photographers say the quality of the video is really good from that.
Yeah, I watched Matt say the same thing.
So if our reviewers were cameras wenye tumewaona na tumetrust reviews zao za cameras praise the iPhone, I feel like it must be doing something right.
Okay, like a true future Apple fan.
Yeah, and those people are actually very hard to find. You can't watch that Xiaomi review from Makesa alafu upate anything in depth. Maybe I guess maybe atakuja tu hapo, maybe angelea haraka ruka aende. Like the very I don't know, like I'm trying to make a name for one back there. I think Chenze knows him. Carlos.
Yeah.
Like he does very good. Like
in which case, why has no one talked about his phones though? He likes LG a lot. Because
he knows what he's doing.
Features on the LG for recording video and audio.
No, actually, LG will be good for especially you like, or even Ken here, because the one thing that we've talked about here, photography, the optics, good. You podcast you to 24-bit because of the audio. Now, LG, I think, is unmatched when it comes to
audio.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge part of any recording. I mean, for this podcast, we discarded a number of episodes because we've recorded and we felt that like the audio quality is not up to scratch. We've uploaded others and the audio quality is not up to scratch. So for many people who are recording, the audio quality is a big factor. So I don't know. And the problem with LG is, I was looking at what they have to do with this new Velvet. I don't know, came up with that name. But the problem with LG is they want to give you everything. They'll miss the mark with everything else.
Yeah.
They'll make a phone that you can excuse if it was priced at $30K, but it's an $800 phone, so you have to check that. And also, I try very hard not to look at what Google is offering with a Pixel or what Apple is offering with an iPhone, but just a very crap camera. So how do you reconcile? Do you pick that whatever? It's not by the standards of the other phones, it's crap. But by standards of mid-rangers and everything, it's fine. Will you pick what LG offers, but for the world-class audio? Like, is that a consideration or a trade-off you'd wish to to make. Like here, I'm okay getting a phone with no Google apps because the camera is good and I'll work my way around that limitation. I think that's easy to live with.
Personally, I feel like LG doesn't try to sell a lot.
Yeah,
yes, the audio is good, but what do I do next? Unaona, is the battery good? I don't know, because when was the last time I saw an LG phone with good battery? I'm a reviewer saying it has good battery. Yes, some of the mid-range or $500 LG phones have water like IP67 and all that, but do they send out updates? I will be stuck with a phone that runs Android 7 and Android 8 for years.
I don't know, you're going too far. You are going too far.
Mid-range LG updates, same sentence, really?
No, like, have you seen, it's called, I think, the LG UI or something. That surface is horrendous. It looks terrible.
No, I feel like LG did a good
they
thing.
Even renamed it at some point. I don't know. I've lost track.
The UI became easier.
Yes.
Before that, walikuwa na UI ingine yenye unaogopa hata kuguza.
Hiyo UI bado ni mbaya.
I remember when I was getting the OnePlus 5, there was the LG G6. Same pricing, has better features, like it had wireless charging, it was IP67 and all that. But my problem was the OnePlus 5 currently is receiving Android 10. LG, the Android version it launched with the iko nayo mpaka leo. And that is
I also tempted to buy that phone in 28.
I'd actually forgotten the GX7 existed, and it's interesting hearing Abuya say all that, because I think of all of us, he's the most recent guy to have an LG phone from the shop.
And where does LG sell these phones? I've never walked into a shop and actually known and
they're not in Africa.
They stopped selling here. They stopped selling here. I think the last time they were selling here nilikuwa Campo, and they stopped like a year after that. There was
the last one they sold here was the G4.
The L, you remember the L series? The LGL3 was everywhere at some point.
Zile box.
Yes, box. Yes, yes. So when they launched,
I can remind you guys.
When they launched the second generation of that, there was an LGL3,
yes,
2, whatever those ones. That was the end of their presence here locally. So they're happy to sell us fridges and TVs, but mobile division doesn't have a presence. They're big in Latin America and those other places, but here no. And I think around the world they only sell their phones to one Carlos Bagnell anyway.
So yeah, just
that
here
happens.
Those
very unfortunate.
20 minutes.
There are some questions from guys who are watching on YouTube. Let me read some of them. Kuna ya Eddie, which was the first one. Don't know if you've talked about this, but there are tips that the normal user should consider. But are there tips that the normal user should consider when shooting videos with their phones? Lighting, settings, etc.
First of all, if you're getting any Huawei phone, for me, is to go to camera settings and change from default. It comes at 720. Change it to 1080.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. From me will be where I started, because for quite a while I do some scrappy unboxings every once in a while, and when I started doing one of those, I was traveling out of town and I decided, why not? I had a Huawei Mate 9, it's still somewhere in here, one I to me like once every 6 months, and I just mounted it on a tripod I bought with Nick here in town, and it worked well. Like if you it's a good place to start. That's the little camera advice I can share since I have none.
Also, just shoot in good lighting. See, lazima ununue unaweza tumia window.
Kwa balcony.
Yeah. Most of the first videos zangu zilikuwa tu nimesimama kwa window. Hata most of my photos mpaka leo atutumii light, tunatumia tu natural light.
Also, just getting kuna these tripods people can buy that you can use za simu, right? Exactly. Yeah. There's so much available at a very affordable rate.
Yeah, na nimeona IG merchants kwa wengi na the ones that the ring light with the phone mount hapo katikati. I mean, if you're going to do fire TikToks, you might as well do them well.
Yes.
I agree with Nick. I think one of the most important things in video is stabilization.
Yes.
Like, if your camera is shaking all the time, like
I know people are going to get distracted.
people are going to get distracted and your content will look so amateurish. So I think like
it's TikTok, it can look amateurish.
No.
It's supposed to be amateurish, I mean.
Yeah, I think a tripod, you even put your phone on top of something. You can even put it on top.
A selfie stick, by the way. People use selfie sticks. I think I've seen people using selfie sticks as well.
Yeah.
To record videos.
Sawa, Kanali.
I've seen someone like if you have a pile of books in your house, actually.
Yes. I've used books a couple of times at a meme.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think stabilization for me is the most important tip.
Okay.
Then Apple comments, but there's another person who's a Sony who likes the Xperia one.
Xperia one, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then they before you get too excited, there's another who likes the P40.
P40 Pro, yes.
P40 actually one. I think everybody likes the P40 Pro except me.
Yeah, and they're in agreement that you can get the gaps that you need. Yeah.
Yes, but I'm too old to start flashing ROMs right now.
The same fellow says
software optimization is crap.
Yeah. And then another person agrees with Ken Dickson here. Computational photography is the future. I have my stars. I'm a big fan of everything computing, but I'm also, it's the same thing I like saying about when we talk AI and all these moves. When everyone is saying, "Oh, we are going to have now robotic overloads, and you no longer need humans," I mean, you still need humans. The same thing with computational AI. As where photography lies is all centered on light. For as much as you try whatever you need the light, before all these algorithms and everything else does their magic, the light will keep on being key. And the best bit will be where you find a balance. We are not going to eliminate the light in its entirety anytime soon. Yeah, so you'll still have a lot of us who just prefer whatever is natural or whatever you can, the much more light that you can get. I mean, that's why we keep having bigger sensors, right? Many apertures, whatever. So computational photography, and you know, learn all those things and piecing together a nice thing, good. I mean,
you see, I think like right now, the reason why I like the Xperia 1 Mark II is because, to be honest, all smartphones right now, I mean, they use computational photography, and it's impossible to run away from computational photography because without computational photography, smartphones would not even compete with DSLRs the way you see.
Yeah, because there's only so much you can do with this space.
Exactly, because naturally smartphones are small. Of course, their sensors can't be as big as DSLRs. So you see, like nowadays, even for you, like let's say night mode, for example, you know, like it's basically computational photography and almost all other modes, because nowadays what smartphones do is they don't just take one.
The worst one is beauty mode. Can they stop doing that?
No, they cannot.
Beauty mode is the political side of tech, because you get to where there's racial bias in AI. Because that's why we have bad beauty mode. Because if I was in Malaysia, I wouldn't say the same thing. I mean,
yes, and I'm pretty sure like that it's just there for girls, mainly for girls.
Yeah. Hey. And yeah, I think is a good.
Somebody asked Abuya, Abuya, Bonyo. Somebody asked you, does the calculator installed on the phone affect computational photography?
Good question.
I think
mathematics.
I think I also like if he or she can share what they're having, because clearly they're having something.
Before we disappear, Bonyo, you didn't answer me. I needed to know whether these dedicated cameras have that computational whatever aspect in them, or they're just manual, all of them. These big cameras.
I think what I was trying to imply
is smartphone cameras. Just leave smartphone cameras out of it.
All right. So I think probably one area where like DSLRs and all these mirrorless cameras fail is because they're not as advanced as smartphones in terms of their processing and in terms of their software. So like I think where smartphones excel is that itachukua picha na itafanya picha ikae poa, yani unaona.
But there are, Abuya, there are some cameras that are using computation photography because, for example, on the M50 that I'm using, the mirrorless Canon M50, there is a mode where you can just set it for portraits and it will do everything for you. Wewe si lazima ujifunze blurring, nini, smoothening, making the light good, HDR, vitu kama hivyo, you just do it. So I think some of the processors on some of these cameras are using some form of sort of built-in AI to learn the scene and do all that for you. Yeah. There's been a discussion online. Will you buy a camera from Apple? A dedicated camera?
Yes, I've seen that discussion before. Very certainly, like I cannot be able to afford it, so go ahead.
I'll totally buy
I mean,
one.
talking about Apple and cameras, there's one camera you haven't talked about. It's pretty new. The LiDAR sensor on the new iPad, on the 2020 iPad.
Oh, I like the LiDAR. Yes, I've seen it.
Yes.
I don't know why it was included on an iPad, honestly.
Why?
You think it was not
when you take photos with an iPad, you take bigger photos that you can take on a phone, right?
Guy.
Chenze anaweza tuambia yeye ni one of the users.
No, I find the use cases. The use cases. Like just it's
what
like
for augmented reality or what? I don't remember what he was doing.
For AR, the use cases are good, and seeing as it is that the like a phone, an iPad is a pretty much long-term product. I know so many people with iPad 2s that are still working fine and don't need replacement.
And Apple supporting them.
Yeah. When you look at it that way and you see how AR can blow up in the future beyond just being something that people use on Snapchat for filters, you realize that there's the need. Like if you're going to spend almost $1,000 on what Apple is calling a computer, why not have the features that will insulate you going into the future? So that's why I see sense. There might not be so many use cases today.
Right now.
Yeah, they'll be like right now, if you look left, right, and center, all the furniture stores in Nairobi are having huge sales. But other than those fire Instagram stories they're doing, you really need to walk into a store to see what they're offering. What if they had apps that took advantage of hardware like the one provided on the iPad, where you can actually see in your tiny space, ukienda kununua hii bookshelf ka itaingia ama ingi. Yeah. So thinking
shake your routers.
Thinking about it that way. But I'm also interested, will we see this in the next iPhone? And will it become like a major, now that we are okay turning the entire back of our phones to look like a carpet full of cameras, will it like show up somewhere here next time?
Honestly, some of those designs make a phone look ugly. Actually.
Yes. Which those augers used to be in drawings to lower primary. Our phones now look like those, those scary monsters with 3 eyes. Our phones, like I was looking at the Nokia 5.3 and I was happy Nokia 5.3 now doesn't look like an emoji. That's what they had with the 0.2 series. Yeah. And then the pure view looked like those things that will trigger some people.
Don't even mention it. Dickson, how many minutes do we have? Maybe as we wind up. What happened to rotating cameras?
Oh yes, yeah, man. Mechanical things. I think they're too expensive to make. Plus, you cannot put the
too fragile. Cannot support certain features.
But see, they exist in an interesting new way. They exist in an interesting new way. The pop-up cameras we are having. I had a pop-up camera on the which
there's a Huawei
15 Premier or whatever. What was that for?
15 Premier.
Yeah, and I used another for a year on the Y9 Prime 2019, and I really liked it. What I don't like is the rating. 300,000 cycles. That was what was on the OnePlus that started. The first OnePlus to have a pop-up camera had 300,000 cycles, something. Going up and down. The phones that I've been using, like the Huawei, does not have a rating. Did it? Or did it have a rating or something?
200 amangapi. I wrote it on the review.
Yeah, because I remember getting the rating for the one of the Novas. I don't remember for the Y9, and I don't remember ever seeing a rating for the Camon. That's usually the scary bit, because for me, unless a phone is stolen, I tend to, or I sell it, I'll keep a phone for long. I just need an assurance that it will keep working. Since it's the mechanical parts, they're moving, there's the risk of dust. At least I don't know of any active cases.
The one on the Camon, it used to make a very funny noise. Kama some cartoon.
And the light. And the
light.
Yeah,
it's like, ooh, that was so
too dramatic.
I think that's one of the worst features like I've seen in cameras of you. I hate
me. It reminds me of this when you're watching these space movies, and something, an alien object lands in another alien space, and the head pops.
Anyway,
guys.
Pop-up implementation, though I did not like the phone because of ColorOS and all that, I feel like the Oppo Find X pop-ups implementation was really cool. The pop-up looks
the 10x zoom that was going sideways.
No. The Oppo Find X, the original first pop-up.
Oh yes, that's present.
But you never liked that phone, Dickson.
No, I didn't like the phone, but if you read my review,
I never liked it too. I picked it from Kanali, actually, I think.
The pop-up mechanism looked cool.
It was futuristic, yes.
Yeah, it looks really cool. But
Well,
I'm not saying it's something I would use for the rest of my life. It was like cool to look at.
That Oppo, it was what? N3, it was
N1.
N1.
Find X.
The N1.
N1, yeah.
N1, I liked that.
N1.
Yes.
I remember.
Backwards.
That's the one I like. I actually find it redundant if it's a pop-up and it's only for the selfie.
Can't stand the other way.
Yeah. It's too redundant.
Well, sad situation. So guys, how many minutes do we have? I need
a time limit. We've been on for 1 hour 33 minutes.
So probably as we wind up, like I'd like to know like which phone, like right now, if you're supposed to, if you had all the money in the world and you'd get the best smartphone camera, which one would you get right now?
The 40 Pro. Sad.
We already answered it.
In the world, and I have to use one phone. I can buy two.
Actually, in fact, what we should actually answer is like what innovation
all round
innovation in
the innovation.
Yeah, are you seeing of late that probably you like?
Let me see. That's a better question.
Why don't you back in a computation photography yangu?
I don't know.
In photography, honestly.
I don't know. I think
there's a Vivo phone that I think Joel shared with me, Juicy. Like that phone has a 3-axis gimbal in the camera.
Yes, it's a concept phone. Wame launch a retail unit kweli?
It's a Vivo phone, right?
Yeah, it's a concept Vivo phone. They have implemented 3-axis gimbal for stabilization.
Like that's cool innovation.
It's really cool.
And how but overkill. I mean, if you're going to spend top dollar on that, will you still be using it? Will it still excite you 3 years down the line? I mean,
many phones will have gimbals 3 years down the line.
Some of these things are just overkill. You remember? Anyone remembers the LG Optimus Prime? It had 3D, whatever camera.
Yes, from 2011 or 2010.
Yeah. Anyone who bought that phone at the crazy price LG was selling it today, I hope they're really proud of themselves.
I don't know, but I think that's one sad.
Sema is for computational.
Abuya.
Yeah, I think my I don't know. I think my answer is that I just want improvements like in every department so that they make one very good experience for me. I guess I think that should be good for me because I tend not to ask for too much from this phone. So if the experience is actually very good, no. So I don't know, like if they are going to put as many lessons as they can, if they're going to improve computational or whatever thing, and they make one excellent experience for me here, like the end user, I'm actually very happy with the idea. I don't care what they're going to do after that, but I'm actually going to love like the whole experience from it.
Oh, someone in the comments is reminding us that Vivo phone is V50.
That one with the gimbal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm pretty sure it's listed on this Marina. I'll go check it out later.
The concept, yeah, it's still a concept phone.
Yeah, there are a bunch of concept phones out there, like the one from OnePlus that has the like hidden cameras, like the camera lenses that
that's strip here. They showed
yes,
it what at CES.
CES, yes, I think CES exactly. Yeah, January.
But now with their McLaren, because that tech was from McLaren. Now their McLaren partnership dead. Will we ever get to see that thing?
Maybe I don't think so. Very unlikely.
I think for me, like probably like my takeaways, and as we conclude, like what I've really loved in the past few months, like I've loved the Xperia 1 Mark II because it brings back
both look at Chenze.
Like I like that phone is
to brand to
listen to anybody. Go ahead.
Heading a podcast discussion about what Sony phones.
Go ahead. Why is the Mark II good to you?
I like it because it's coming in between, like computational photography and manual photography, and it's sitting in
combines. Huh?
It's sitting in between there, like giving you the option of you can use the default camera, which basically does everything for you, and you can also use the advanced camera. So like I think that's a really, really good idea. And as much as it might not sell for everyone, I feel like like it's a good, yeah, I feel like it's a good thing that they're trying out. I think one more thing, one more thing
go ahead,
is I noticed that when Xiaomi released the Mi Note 10, they also had the Pro. They also had the Pro edition. So when you try to read online, like the differences between the two, you realize that the two cameras have different lens elements at the back. So like it's interesting that smartphone cameras wameanza kufocus on optics, like like the glass behind the lens. So like they'll actually sell you one camera with the same camera hardware, but sasa with basically glass of less quality, then the other one of a higher quality they'll send to you higher. So like even in DSLRs and lenses, like glass actually matters, because you see there's a type of glass which actually kills imperfections, like let's say lens flares, distortion, and all these things. So like the Pro edition of that phone, it had, like they said, it has an 8P lens, the other one has a 7P lens. So like it's interesting. Okay. Smartphones are beginning to, as in they're also beginning to now like start, like bringing in, like let's say, more expensive lens elements, and they're charging for that. So I think that's very interesting.
And how come nobody is talking about periscope lenses? I've been seeing a couple around.
Good. I actually remembered periscope lenses when Bonyo was talking about computational photography and why it's necessary, and I used this phone to illustrate, because I mean this is what they have to work with. What fascinates me about the periscope is because the necessity, because they exist because of how light needs to travel here to produce the effects that you want. I mean, so they exist because light needs to take some journey, and I really like that thing.
And none of us said something about
the periscope lens, alafu akapenda the shots.
Give me the P40 Pro and then I'll give you an answer.
No, actually, I think like we have 2 or 3 devices with periscope lenses in Kenya. There's the P30 Pro, there's that Oppo Find X 10X zoom, I think. Then which P40 Pro? No, that one is not in Kenya yet.
So, yeah, so see, whatever you've mentioned, I haven't had access to any of them. So,
from what I know, like they use it for the zoom, right?
For the zoom, yeah. But I don't like the text is just fascinating.
Yeah, very, very, very fascinating.
I forgot to say, I think the most,
and actually it works based. Nana nakumbuka ile diagram ya periscope. Ilikuwa kitu, was it still a periscope? Yeah, primary school.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. basically it. When like there's Mr. Who's the Boss has done, I think I watched, I don't know, I remember when I watched it, maybe it could have been last year or early this year. He did, he shared one of the promotional material from one of the device makers.
I think Huawei,
yeah, and it's, I love that.
Very good. It's very,
and also I think for me, no one is talking about, it's called the Dolby Vision HDR.
Oh, Dolby Vision.
Dolby Vision HDR. Hey, those names, Maze. Bonyo, come back.
And I think I was watching some video the other day, and someone was trying to compare a 4K footage that was shot using without Dolby Vision HDR and one that was shot using. And actually, when you see these the one that was shot with HDR, the highlights are blown out, and actually the shadows actually detailed. No effect. It looks really cool.
So much better. I don't know. I think these things. I think I'll maybe try to look for such kind of videos on there. I think the extend screen can support that kind of view. I can't see those things on TV unless maybe I think was like those fancy Chenze as one. I think one of those fancy TVs. You can give us an answer later.
Yeah.
Maybe I try to look it on phone later on and see. But I'm pretty sure like I'll not see like much of a difference from my end.
If you view quality of videos. Even on the iPad, you will notice the difference.
You'll notice.
Can you see the difference on the
trust to a camera to shoot that quality? I trust a smartphone camera to shoot that quality. I trust that to be from a film creator mwenye anatumia big cameras. So I won't look at a camera if it has Dolby Vision ama nini ya.
So I think I'm pretty sure I've seen that thing on some mobile camera somewhere. I'll go maybe find out or something like that.
The thing about the HDR10 and the Dolby, it's basically just a standard for
how bright your screen can get and the color gamut.
It's useful mainly if you're consuming now such a 10-bit content. But if you're not consuming 10-bit and HDR content,
it doesn't.
It's not a big deal.
Dickson, on your Note 10.
Pardon? Abuya?
Dickson, like, can you see the difference between those videos on your Note 10?
If you go to YouTube and you in a filter for a HDR video, you notice it on the YouTube app immediately. The screen gets brighter. After the color reproduction just changes. Even on the TV, if you play a HDR video, you notice it immediately. Immediately the video, the TV realizes it's HDR, you'll notice a color shift. Brightness itaenda juu, alafu there's just a difference in color. Kama ilikuwa red kwa ile video ingine, hapa sasa ni red. Sijui kana make sense.
Red kabisa, red. Okay, sorry, but I get your point.
Problem I have with HDR is that I mean it's a good thing, but sasa unaona like it's not been accepted, especially by content creators, because you find like Hollywood, for example, many of the things that they'll produce, like they want it haitakuwa HDR compliant, unaona.
Okay.
So hata kama niko na hiyo TV, like kuna content kidogo sana naweza consume ya HDR10 for example. So it's
But I've noticed Netflix, most of the content, ama pengine TV inanidanganya, but most of the content on Netflix on the TV is HDR.
So yeah, I know Netflix has some HDR content, but now Hollywood not yet.
Hollywood still hates Netflix, but hawaendi mbali.
All right,
sawa. That's good. Can we sum up? I need to leave.
So
I'm requesting to leave.
Unaona, mungekula tu sapa kama mimi, amngekuwa mnakufa njaa sasa hivi.
This is the last. What is
yes.
Useless camera feature? Most useless.
Most useless camera feature is the 2 megapixel depth sensor.
I don't know.
Hii carpet wamekuwa kituwekea.
Emmanuel?
Hii carpet. You remember those memes we ran? Which Galaxy S series was that? Where they added a whole string of cameras and people just started adding how phones would look like in 2030.
I can't remember.
The most useless is just packing so many lenses that do pretty much nothing.
Exactly.
They're phones with so many lenses, and then ukitumia as the manufacturer prescribes, you can actually see the difference. You can see they put in the effort, and there's a reason why this exists, why the other one exists. Then kuna zingine ukitumia, you are like, so what's the difference?
What's the extra lens doing? And that's mostly with techno devices. The extra lenses.
No.
How to forget
No,
Techno?
exactly.
Remember the Nokia 9 Pure View? The one Kiruti
All
had.
those very,
Baby, all those lenses.
I don't know, but it's a very good phone.
Yeah.
Like, I actually like that phone. I don't know why people are hating
So
it.
much at times you are tempted to think maybe the extra lenses are for making the photos look bad.
I don't. I think the point is, like, those extra lenses don't make sense for I don't know, for budget devices. They just don't make sense at all. Just
Yeah, but they're good for
one
messaging.
good lens. Huh?
On Abuya, on the same issue of budget devices, the Huawei is a budget devices. In the easy Y8, Y7.
No, budgets. I'm saying like budget.
Like the Y7P
like
is
in the,
so good.
The Y7P is a budget device. It's 17 or 18K. But all the lenses are working and you can use all the lenses for something. Sasa, why hapa kuna lenses ngapi? Ama ionekani? Yeah.
That's
like, I can see four.
But the extra lenses, you can't access them on the camera app. You can't use them for anything. Come on, 15 iko na lenses ngapi? There's no ultra wide kwa hiyo phone, lakini kuna lenses 4. So what are the extra lenses doing if there's no ultra wide hapo hivyo?
To make your phone look like a very nice six banner whatever.
Again, we should wind up.
I'm hungry as hell.
My most used feature ni super zoom.
Yeah, by the way, I was tempted to come in with that when you showed the S20 and it's
yes, I said like this. I don't know. Okay, like the S20 is actually very good, save for that S20 Ultra. That is a stupid phone, overpriced piece of garbage.
All right, Sawa, we can wind up there.
How do we get the audio for this so that I upload?
I'll send you the recording. I have the link.
Sawa.
Tawa. Do you need to sign off or just walk away?
No, we always sign off. Where don't do kijuakali. You're not going to upload. Yeah. So I think that's it. My name is Nick Kanali and I blog at techtrends.k.co.ke.
Dickson Otieno, techish.com.
Ken's Emmanuel and Kenya.com.
Ken Abuya from TechWiz.
Ken Bonyo. I think a lot of my content is on my Instagram at Ken Bonyo. So
where did the blog go?
You're our Instagram.
Yeah, all right.
Blog again.
You'll see so many videos on my Instagram, so check it out there.
Where did the blog go?
Oh, Dickson, sawa. Dickson anauliza swali. Maisha, vitu mingi zili come up. So I think right now, like nowadays I do a lot of video content for client, and I think that's what's taking much of my time. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus he's probably married. Who knows?
I think that's it, guys.